Ever since I was a kid, all I ever wanted to be was a bureaucrat.
I know I'd go from...
My first job was here on the south coast. They were building an econometric model of the UK. It didn't come to much. They put me in this brick blockhouse while I crunched the numbers. Here in the Midlands, I was part of a small gang trying to forecast the number of engineering apprentices using fashionable but crazy mathematical models. And here I am with a couple of those crazy models. We started off working in wooden huts, but then the organization took delivery of these state-of-the-art offices. The mobs in academia were all very well, but I needed to experience the real bureaucracy, cue local authorities.
Look at that sky, life's begun. Nights are warm and the days are young.
Warwickshire planners were involved in a scam called urban structure plans. These were the first and the last such plans. The young guys working on these plans were often more interested in the latest guest real beer arriving here at the Black Horse than in the local plans. I was now 31 and looking for the big time in London. Central government was setting up quangos all over the place. This one controlled the manpower mobs. And I was here in the HQ building, which is now a posh hotel. I spent a long time traveling the country, checking out the local labor rackets. But it was now time to try and join one of the biggest bureaucracies on the planet, the mighty DHSS. Then I got this call from an Irish guy about a job in Blackfriars Road. He said there's one snag, the neighborhood, that's south of the river. I said, that's okay. I live south of the river myself in Beckenham. Yes, he said, but this office is sited in a district that gives South London a bad name. Anyway, he interviewed me in this pub, which in those days was so bad that your feet used to stick to the carpet. In the end, I was in. The bureaucracy was so big that the phone directory was 2 inches thick. Hey, I didn't mind. I quickly learned all about the social security rackets and the guys who ran it, the administrators, or as they like to call themselves, the Deskfellas. One day, one of the top desk fellas invited me into his room. He offered to make me a desk fella. I said, what's the job? He said, they'd come up with 2 different ways of guessing how many desk fellas they need in each location. They need to figure out which way was best. I said, why you got 2 methods? Oh, he said with a shrug, it's basically a big cock-up. So anyway, I checked it out, wrote a report, and after that I became an enforcer, cutting out red tape throughout the organization. And although Great Titchfield Street was nothing to write home about, just around the corner was Fitzrovia. But I had bigger fish to fry now. I was heading to the river to be part of the elite desk fellas in Policy Division. To me, this seemed like the big time. An office overlooking the Thames and policy responsibility for £25 billion. Not only that, these policy boys took their orders directly from the top bosses, the so-called ministers. When they wanted our advice, we would walk through this classy park to their Whitehall mansions. This is us advising one of them, a lady who later shot to fame as a showgirl.
Well, I imagine that the line there
After a tough session with the head honchos, we Deskfellas would often stop by the Tattersall Castle to discuss the next big job. Hey, we got some of our best ideas out here. Life with the Deskfellas was 24/7. They kept arguing even as the sun went down. Top street for the Deskfellas, bar none, was Whitehall. I was determined to get there. I got lucky with my new job. My office overlooked this street. The work was in finance, counting the loot. And here is the infamous Red Lion pub, right next door. A favorite haunt of the Treasury guys, the Brown Boys, used to hang out here. Tough guys. But the word on the street was that they were shaking down the department and rubbing out some of the staff, so it was time to investigate another outfit. Further east in the city was Kingsway. I joined Ofsted, part of the so-called inspection racket, where ex-teachers wrested control from the Deskfellas. While most of the gang were London-based, I had to set up a new crew in Manchester as part of the college inspection scam. But then I thought it was time to go straight, so I decided to quit and tell my story to the press. Hey, any offers?